Good morning, students. So today in family resource management, we are going to see about what is by principles of design. Okay. So the previous class we have seen about the elements of design. So these elements, what are the elements of design? Can you say, any one of you? Can you say what are they? Very good. Line, form, shape, color, texture, size, etc. And all these components must be governed by certain principles. That is called as what? The principles of design. So what are the principles of design? That is the harmony, balance, rhythm, proportion and emphasis. And all this must be governed by these principles. That is called as principles of design. So first we are going to see about what is meant by harmony. Okay, so this harmony is a very fundamental requirement for any piece of work. When you are decorating a home, when you are arranging the furniture, the harmony is very important. It means that what is a harmony? It is a principle which produces an impression of unity. Okay, maybe in the arrangement of the object or selection of the object, etc. It produces an impression of unity. So this they will ask what is a harmony in 2 marks. Okay, so this harmony, it is of, they have 5 aspects. What are they? First one is harmony of line and shape. Next one is harmony of size. Next, harmony of texture, harmony of color and harmony of idea. Okay, now we are going to see what is meant by harmony of lines. So you know that in the elements of design itself, we know that what is a line. So line is very important composition in the arrangement. Okay, in the arrangement of any important element, that is called as what? The lines. So there we have 3 types of lines. What are they? First, lines which repeat one another or which follow one another. Lines which contrast one another. Next line is called as which the lines which transitional one another. So all these lines, they comprises of what? The harmony. If you see the picture, you can understand very clearly. So in any arrangement, all these lines must be present. Lines which follow, lines which contrast and lines which transitional lines. Okay, then what is a shape? Your combination of line result in the shape. Okay, now when you see this picture, you can understand very clearly. So in it is a what? A window. Okay, so in this we have what? A horizontal and a vertical line. So lines which follow one another or lines which contrast one another. Okay, and there are certain transition lines also which soothe or modify the contrast. Okay, so here we can see in this picture you can very clearly see harmony of the line. So under that you can see what? Shapes. Okay, so the cushion of a what? The same shape. Okay, so that is called as what? The harmony. Harmony in what? The unity. Okay, unity. It may be in the form of what? Color. It may be in the form of size. It may be in the form of what? The texture, etc. So the cushion is of what? The same shape. Okay, so harmony. First one is what? We can achieve harmony through what? The line and the shape. Okay, next one we are going to see about harmony in the size. So size, we have what? Different types. Okay, different type. That is our sizes which are of what? Two different. When we put together, they may show inconsistent. Okay, but if the size of the same thing, if you arrange the object, it may show a what? A consistent. Okay, so for example, you can say that large flower vase should not be placed on a what? A small table. So if you keep a what? Large flower vase on a small table, it may be what? The size may be inconsistent. Or one more example, we can say a tall cupboard should not be placed on a what? Yeah, near to the small table. Or small room, we must avoid dumping of a what? Heavy piece of furniture in a small room. Okay, this is called as what? The size. So harmony size is also very important. Next one is, this is called as what size? So here you have seen in the mounting of the pictures, in the hanging of the pictures, the wall hangings are what? The same size. It should not be too big or too small for this wall. Okay, and as well as you can see that the flower vase which is at the center of the table is also what? Apt to the table. Must correct size to the table. Okay, ma'am. Next one we are going to see about the harmony in texture. So texture is of different types. First one is called as fine, medium and the coarse. So when you want to decorate a home or select a furniture, tables or etc., always fine, will go well with the medium, and the medium will go well with the coarse. Okay, and the fine and coarse will not go well with each other. So the combination, when you combine the texture, is very, very important to see this thing. So when you see this picture, you can clearly understand. So for example, you can see this what the dining table setup. So here the chairs you saw what different some coarse material, and the table is of what, again it's of wood, so it goes well with each other. If you put a leather seated chair here, it doesn't match with the table. So this is very important. So texture, when you are selecting the furniture or etc., it must be what, the texture must play a very, very important role. So arrangement of the furniture or arrangement of the thing must have what, a good feel, the harmony must be achieved. Can you understand? So next important thing is harmony in ideas. So harmony in ideas is very, very important. So one, you must identify one main idea. So one main idea should dominate the room. For example, you have, for example I'm telling, you may have a different state of India, and each state has a peculiar thing. Okay, for example, you see, if you take Andhra means they have kalamkari painting. Okay, their recipes you can do it. Or if you take Kerala, so they will they will in the food, preparation of the food, they may add lot of coconut or oil or etc. Okay, and fish also they may add, and the natural decoration will be of water, wood, and the coconut waste etc. So using you can take any one of the state of India and take their own colors, prints and object, and you can arrange as a theme etc. That is called as harmony in idea. So here you can see that everything was artificially they have made it, and it was called as what, the harmony of idea. So next one is the harmony in color. So color, so you know that color plays a wonderful role in the decoration. So choosing of color, so of the to match the entire scheme is very, very important. Okay, so here we have two types of color scheme, that is monochromatic as well as the analogous color scheme. So you can choose a monochromatic or analogous, and you can decorate a what, the home. That is called as what, the harmony. Can you understand? Now you can see that here they have used a monochromatic, a single color harmony. That is called as monochromatic color harmony. It may be a purple etc. So this is the best example for harmony of color. Okay. Next one we are going to see about the next important principle is the balance. So what is a balance? So balance means it is a rest or repose. When you go, when you purchase a mattress or etc., it will be written as a repose. So repose means what? Rest. Okay. So how you can achieve this balance? So balance is achieved by grouping of the shapes and colors in the center, so that there will be equal attraction. Okay. So you have to grouping of object, a grouping of the shape and colors, so that you can get a what? The equal attraction. That is called as a balance. There are two types of balance. What are they? Formal balance and the informal balance. So first we will see what is a formal balance. So formal balance is nothing but the object must be same in appearance, and they must be placed at equal distance from the center, and they must attract the same attraction. That is called as the formal balance. So three important points you must keep in mind, girls. What are they? Same in appearance, same attraction, and must place at the equal distance from the center. That is called as formal balance. It is otherwise known as symmetrical balance. Okay. So now you can see clearly in this picture that the lamp, the night lamp, is kept from what? From the center. That is from the sofa, from the furniture. They are kept at what? Equal distance from the center. Both the objects are of what? Same color. Okay, same texture. Okay, this is called as what? The formal balance. Can you all understand? So from the center point, the object must be of same, it must attract the same attraction, and must be placed at the equal distance from the center. That is called as what? The formal balance. So this is a very best example for formal balance. And next one is called as informal balance. So here you can see that what is the informal balance? The objects, they do not attract the same attraction, and they are placed at what? Different distance from the center. Okay, the object must not be what? Same. It is called as what? The informal balance. That balance is otherwise known as asymmetrical balance. Now you can see this. Okay, this is a very best example. Okay, you can see that so from the center point, here on the right side of the thing, you can have what, a wall hanging, okay, under the light. But here there is no wall hanging. We have only a night lamp. Okay, so the objects are what, different. Okay, so that is called as what, the informal balance. Can you understand? So form balances of what, the two types. Okay, next one we are going to see about what is a rhythm. Next important principles of design is a rhythm. So rhythm means, it means that what, gracefulness, okay, energy and privativeness. That is called as what, the rhythm. So you might have heard this. It is an integral part of a what, a dance or a poem or a song. Okay, so it means that rhythm means it is a quality of organized movement in the direction of beauty. It is a what, organized movement. So in interior or in family resource management, rhythm means it is a easily connected path along which the eye travels. Okay, in a plain surface there will be no eye movement. Okay, but when you keep a flower vase, or when you keep a wall hanging, or when you keep a modern clock on the wall, what will happen? The eye will start moving. Okay, that is called as what, a rhythmic movement. Okay, so in a plain surface we won't have any rhythmic movement, but when you keep any emphasis at the point of the surface, the eye travels to move. So that is called as what, a rhythm. So rhythm means what, a easily connected path along which the eye travels. That is called as what, the rhythmic. Okay, so what are the ways of achieving the rhythm? So first one is through repetition of shapes. So where a particular shape is repeated, there will be a rhythmic movement. Then progression of size, then continuous line movement, then radiation. So first we are going to see what is the rhythm through repetition of a shape. Okay, so first one is repetition of the shape. So this form of rhythm can be achieved by repeating the word, the shape, size, line, color at regular intervals and creating what, a beautiful space relationship. That is most important. For example, you can see in this picture a particular line, a particular curve, a particular shape or particular size is being repeated, that too at a what, at a regular intervals. Okay, that is a regular intervals. If you see this picture, you can clearly understand. That is called as what, repetition of the shapes. Or if you take a textiles, what you can say, the best example is a what, tucks on a dress. Okay, repeating the dots or buttons at a frequent intervals. That is called as what, repetition of the shapes. Okay, next one is through progression of the size. Okay, so this creates a rapid eye movement. Okay, so what all we have, what you can see this. So when you arrange the objects like this, the eye travel very rapidly. Okay, maybe from the bottom to the upward or from the upward to the downward, etc. So okay, for example, when you arrange the pictures or object against a series of strings, this would carry the eye towards the ceiling. Okay, so you must keep, whenever you are arranging this, you must keep you must be very careful. The eye should not what it should not mislead from the center of the interest to the other areas. So when you are arranging any objects, the progression of size, you must be very careful. You must not take the eye towards the ceiling point. Okay, only to the particular point you have to see it. Okay. Next one is continuous line movement. So this you may have seen in any temple or any palace, etc. Okay, so when a particular, this forms of rhythm is obtained by using a what, a curved line. Okay, so this line in this type of rhythm, the rhythm is unbroken and gives a feeling of what, a continuous movement. Okay, so here the lines are what, they are of what, unbroken, they are not broken and gives a what, a continuous movement. Okay, so this is a very best example. And for in family resource management, you can take an example as a furniture or a cupboard, etc. Because in a cupboard or in a furniture, the lines are being used what, continuously. There is no what, broken up lines. Okay, that is a very best example of continuous line movement. Next one is what, radiation, rhythm through radiation. This is another way of obtaining the organized movement. So here the rhythm grows out from the central point or axis. Okay, from the center point of view, this rhythm appears or it radiates. That is called as what? Rhythm through radiation. So keeping a flower vase in the center of the table, that is what? It creates a radiation movement. Can you understand? So that is about the rhythmic movement. So rhythm means we have seen the four ways of achieving the rhythm. What are they? Continuous line movement. Next one is what? Progression of the size. Then repetition of the shapes and rhythm through the radiation. Okay. Next important principles we are going to see is the proportion. What is a proportion? So proportion is otherwise known as the law of relationship. The law of relationship. Because when one talks about the proportion, you must know about all these things. So when you talk about the proportion, the size also we must talk it. So size of the element must be consistent and must be pleasing relationship. So whenever you arrange an object, a grouping of the object, okay, for example, grouping of the furniture, sofa, etc. It must be the size of the furniture must be consistent with the size of the room and must have a pleasing relationship. Okay, then the size of the structure is in good proportion to different objects combined with it. So whatever you are combining, for in a hall, what furniture you may have a sofa set, a teapot, a flower vase, or a TV, etc. So that must be what combined. We must have be good proportion to the different objects combined with it. Okay, first we have seen what are they? The size of the element must be consistent. Okay, whatever you are arranging, it must be consistent and must have a pleasing relationship. Then what all the other things you are combining with a different object, it must have also suitable to, it must have certain good proportion. That is called as what? The law of relationship, or it is called as the proportion. Okay, this is the golden oblong. We will see that golden oblong. Okay, see here, it's all you can see here the both the lamp is of what same proportion, correct proportion. Then the sofa, teapot, whatever wall hangings, the sculptures, whatever you are having, it's of what good proportion to the entire room itself. That is most important. When you are arranging the object, you must follow that also. Okay, next, the last important principle is the emphasis. So the arrangement, so whatever arrangement you are doing it, it must be well balanced. It must be well balanced and proportional and maybe perfectly harmonious also, but still maybe lack in dull and uninteresting because it lacks something. What is that? That is called as the emphasis. So emphasis means what? You are creating an interest. Okay, the center of the interest, that is called as what? The emphasis. This art principle which you are creating a center of interest on the most important thing in the arrangement. Okay, so what does it mean? So here the eye is carried to the most important part and next to the least important and next to the thing, that is called as what? The emphasis. Okay, so in any arrangement, when the eye is carried first to the most important thing and from there to every other detail in the order of importance, then emphasis is achieved. So when you placing any object in the center, the eye is carried where? To the object, and from there it has been what? Deviating to the less interest part, that is called as the emphasis. Now we are going to see how we can achieve the emphasis. Okay, so first one is what to emphasize, how to emphasize, how much to emphasize, and where to place the emphasis. These are the very important point where we have to study that. Okay, first one is what to emphasize. Okay, in order to determine what to emphasize, the designer should make a complete plan. Okay, you must know what is your plan. Okay, so the objects and materials must be what? Classified in the order of the importance. Okay, so in the order of importance, you are classifying the object, and the background must be of what? Least important, because if you give more importance to the background, then the background would be emphasis and the object will be less emphasis. That is not a main motive of our part. Okay, what is meant by emphasis? The most important part must be what? The emphasis. So the object must be emphasis. Okay, so what you are doing in the what emphasis? You must have a plan. Then you have to classify the object in the order of the importance. Then the background must be least important. So these 3 points you must have it in mind when you are dealing with what to emphasize. Okay, next one is how to emphasize. How to emphasize? What are different ways? of achieving the emphasis. First one is by grouping of objects. Okay, for example, when you go to any hotel, okay, or when you're going for a buffet dinner, okay, so what they will do? So do you think the chairs will be of they will put the chairs just like in a marriage occasion or anything else in a single row they will put it? No, they will put it in a group. Okay, so that may create a what emphasis to the party, etc. Okay, so first how to emphasize how what point you will keep in mind by grouping of the object. Then by use of contrasting colors. Okay, by using the contrasting colors you can create a the emphasis. Then by using decoration, maybe you may keep a flower vase, maybe the light may be of wood or different accessories, maybe wall clock may be of different modern clocks you can use it, etc. Okay, maybe you can have a bird's cage, etc. Aquarium tank you may keep it. So that is also a by using decoration. Then by having sufficient background spaces around the object. Always when we talk about this emphasis, you must not overdump the kasakasan. You should not arrange the objects. Okay, too much of things you should not keep it. That leads to what? That will lead to unpleasant situation itself. Okay, so always you must have it what a thing like that. Okay, next one by using unusual lines and shapes. Okay, all this you must keep in mind. Then how much to emphasis? You must know what to emphasize, how much to emphasis also. The amount of emphasis varies from room and to the people where to live. So the emphasis, the proportion you have to follow is 2:3, etc. Okay, then where to place the emphasis? So where to place the emphasis you must know it. At the center of interest, you must not keep it at the corner or etc. At the center of center you must know where to place the emphasis, etc. Can I understand? Now you can see this. So in a hall you can see a fire camp at the building or a rich picture is glowing. So that creates a what? A emphasis, etc. Okay, ma. So girls, hope you will understand this principles of design, etc. Okay, thank you, ma. Thank you, girls.